I need you to understand that God has a track record. He is not some untested, unproven force in the universe. He has been delivering people for thousands of years. He brought Moses through the wilderness. He brought Daniel through the lion's den. He brought the 3 Hebrew boys through the fire. And He is going to bring you through whatever you are facing right now. The problem is that we have short memories. We forget what God has already done. We forget the times He showed up when we thought it was over. We forget the moments when we should have been destroyed, but somehow we are still standing. If you would just take a moment to look back over your life, you would realize that failure is not in His nature. Some of you in here today should have been dead by now. You should have lost your mind by now. You should have been homeless by now. But something kept you. Somebody protected you. Somebody made a way when there was no way visible to the human eye. That was not luck. That was not a coincidence. That was God being faithful to His word. Think about that moment when you thought it was completely over. You thought you were finished. You thought there was no coming back from that situation. But look at you now. You are sitting in this room. You are breathing. Your heart is beating. You made it through. If God brought you through that, what makes you think He is going to abandon you now? What makes you think He is going to start failing now after all these years? What makes you think your situation is too big for the one who created the entire universe with His words? Your problem is not bigger than your God. The evidence is overwhelming. The testimony is clear. Every single generation has a story of God's faithfulness. And you are going to have your story too. You are going to be able to tell somebody how God brought you through this season. You are going to be a witness to His goodness. But first, you have to trust Him in the process. See, too many of you have pitched a tent in your valley. You have unpacked your bags in your struggle. You have gotten comfortable in your chaos. But God did not bring you here to leave you here. This is a layover, not your landing spot. You are passing through this situation, not parking in it. I talk to people all the time who've given up on their dreams. They have accepted their current circumstances as their permanent reality. They say things like, "This is just my life," or "This is just the way it is going to be." And every time I hear that, it breaks my heart, because they have stopped believing that change is possible. Your address does not determine your destiny. Your bank account does not determine your future. Your current job title does not define what God has in store for you. You might be living in a small apartment right now, but there is a house with your name on it. You might be driving a beat-up car right now, but there is a better vehicle in your future. Let me tell you something about valleys. Valleys are not designed for living. Valleys are designed for passing through. When you read about the valley of the shadow of death in the Bible, it says, "I walk through the valley." It does not say I sit down in the valley. It does not say I built a house in the valley. It says I walk through. You have got to keep moving. You cannot stop in the middle of your struggle and act like this is where you belong. This is temporary. This is seasonal. This is a chapter, not the whole book. And if you would just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you are going to come out on the other side. I know it is hard to see beyond your current circumstances. When you are in the middle of the storm, all you can see is rain. When you are in the middle of the battle, all you can see is the enemy in front of you. But I need you to trust that there is something beyond what your eyes can see. There is a promised land on the other side of this wilderness. Stop treating your struggle like it is your permanent home. Stop decorating your prison cell. Stop acting like God brought you this far just to leave you stuck. You are going somewhere. You are becoming something. You are being prepared for something greater than where you are right now. I need you to understand this. When that door closed in your face, when that person walked out of your life, when that job let you go, it was not punishment. It was positioning. God was moving you out of the way of something you could not even see coming. He was rearranging things for your benefit, even though it felt like rejection. Have you ever had something not work out And at the time, you were devastated. You were crying. You were upset. You were questioning God. But then later on, you realized that if that thing had worked out, you would have missed something even better. That relationship that ended led you to your spouse. That job you lost led you to your dream career. That door that closed opened up 3 more doors. God sees things that you cannot see. He knows things that you do not know. When he blocks something in your life, it is not because he is mean. It is not because he does not care about your desires. It is because he loves you too much to let you settle for something that was not meant for you. Some of you are still bitter about things that God actually saved you from. You are still holding on a resentment about situations that would have destroyed you if they had worked out. You wanted that person who would have broken your heart into a million pieces. You wanted that opportunity that would have led you down the wrong path. The setback is the setup. I need you to write that down. I need you to remember that when things fall apart. God is not destroying your life. He is rearranging it. He is repositioning you for something better. He is making room for the blessing that is on the way. Think about Joseph in the Bible. His brothers threw him into a pit and sold him into slavery. That looked like a setback. He got falsely accused and thrown into prison. That looked like a setback. But every single setback was setting him up to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. Every single tragedy was part of the strategy. Your story is going to read the same way. When people look back at your life, they are going to see how everything that looked like it was destroying you was actually developing you. Everything that looked like it was ending you was actually positioning you. The setup is in the setback. Just because it has not happened yet does not mean it is not going to happen. Abraham waited 25 years for his promise. Joseph spent 13 years in prison and slavery before his dream came true. David was anointed king and then spent years running for his life before he sat on the throne. Your waiting room is your training room. I think one of the hardest things for us as human beings is waiting. We want everything right now. We live in a microwave society where everything is instant. Instant coffee, instant meals, instant information. But God does not operate on our timeline. He operates on his own schedule, and his timing is always perfect. While you are waiting, God is working. He is working on your situation. He is working on the people who are going to be part of your blessing. He is working on the opportunities that are going to open up for you. And most importantly, he is working on you. He is developing your character. He is building your faith. He is preparing you for what he has prepared for you. See if God gave you the blessing before you were ready for it. It would destroy you. Some of you are not ready for the success you are asking for. You are not ready for the relationship you are praying for. You are not ready for the platform you are seeking. And God loves you too much to give you something that would hurt you. The delay is not a denial. It is development. It is preparation. It is cultivation. A farmer does not plant a seed and then dig it up the next day because nothing is happening. He understands that there is a process. There is a season for planting and a season for harvest. Your harvest is coming, but you cannot rush the process. Some of you have been praying for the same thing for years. You are tired. You are frustrated. You are wondering if God even hears you. Let me assure you today that he hears every prayer. He sees every tear. He knows every desire of your heart. And when the time is right, he is going to make it happen. Stop confusing a delay with a denial. Stop interpreting a slow answer as a no answer. God is not ignoring you. He is not punishing you. He is preparing something so good that it is worth the wait. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep holding on. Imagine a parade. If you are standing on the street, you can only see what is right in front of you. But God is in the helicopter. He sees the beginning, the middle, and the end all at the same time. He knows what float is coming next. He knows what is around the corner. Trust the one with the higher view. We make decisions based on limited information. We only know what we can see, what we can hear, and what we can touch. But God has infinite knowledge. He knows every variable. He knows every possible outcome. He knows what is best for you, even when you think you know what is best for yourself. This is why we have to learn to trust God, even when we do not understand what He is doing. Sometimes His instructions do not make sense to us. Sometimes His plan seems backwards or confusing. But we have to remember that His ways are higher than our ways and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Think about a tapestry. When you look at the back of a tapestry, all you see is a bunch of tangled threads. It looks like a mess. It looks chaotic. It looks like there is no design at all. But when you flip it over and look at the front, you see a beautiful picture. That is how your life looks from God's perspective. You might only see the tangled threads. You might only see the confusion and the chaos. But God sees the masterpiece He is creating. He sees how every thread fits together. He sees how every experience is weaving into something beautiful. You just cannot see it yet because you are looking at the back of the tapestry. Your perspective is limited by time and space. You can only see what is happening in this moment. But God exists outside of time. He sees your past, your present, and your future simultaneously. When He decides your life, He is considering factors that you could never even imagine. This is why faith is so important. Faith is trusting what you cannot see, because you trust the one who can see everything. Faith is following directions even when the destination is not visible. Faith is believing that God knows exactly what He is doing, even when it makes no sense to you. Every single thing you have survived, every tear you have cried, every night you did not think you would make it, God is going to use it. He is going to take your pain and turn it into purpose. He is going to take your test and turn it into a testimony. But you have got to go through it to get to it. You cannot help someone through something you have never experienced yourself. You cannot guide someone through a valley you have never walked through. You cannot comfort someone with struggles you have never faced. Your struggles are not just for you. They are for the people you are going to help on the other side. I have learned that the things that hurt me the most have become the things that help others the most. My greatest pain has become my greatest platform. The things I was most ashamed of have become the things that connect me most deeply with other people. Because when you share your mess, you permit others to share theirs. Stop hiding your struggles. Stop pretending like you have it all together. Stop acting like you have never been through anything. Your vulnerability is your strength. Your honesty about your journey is what makes you relatable. People do not connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. Somebody needs to hear your story. Somebody's going through right now what you went through 5 years ago. They need to know that it is possible to survive. They need to know that there is hope on the other side. They need to know that the pain they are feeling right now is not permanent. You are their proof. God does not waste pain. He does not allow you to suffer for no reason. Every single thing you have been through is being used for a greater purpose. Maybe you cannot see it right now, but trust me when I tell you that your mess is going to become somebody else's miracle. Stop being ashamed of what you have been through. Stop trying to hide your scars. Your scars are your story. Your wounds are your wisdom. What you have overcome is going to be the bridge that helps somebody else cross over to their breakthrough. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. Out of billions of possibilities, God handpicked you. He gave you your specific gifts, your specific personality, your specific experiences, because there is something only you can do. There is somebody you can only reach. Stop trying to be somebody else. The world does not need another copy. It needs the original you. I talk to so many people who wish they were someone else. They wish they had someone else's talents. They wish they had someone else's looks. They wish they had someone else's life. But what they do not understand is that God made them exactly the way He wanted them to be. Your quirks are not flaws. Your differences are not defects. The things that make you unique are the things that make you valuable. If God wanted you to be like everybody else, He would have made you like everybody else. But He did not. He made you distinctly and deliberately different. There is a mission on this earth that only you can fulfill. There is a purpose that has your name on it. There is a calling that fits your exact design. And you will never find fulfillment trying to be someone else or do someone else's assignment. You have to discover and walk in your own purpose. Some of you are so busy comparing yourself to others that you are missing your own greatness. You are looking at what they have and what they can do while ignoring what you have and what you can do. Stop looking at everybody else's lane. Run your own race. God did not give you their assignment. He gave you yours. Your experiences have prepared you for something specific. The things you have been through have equipped you for something unique. Nobody else has your exact combination of gifts, skills, struggles, and insights. That combination is your superpower. That combination is what makes you irreplaceable. When you try to be somebody else, you rob the world of what only you can offer. You deprive people of the blessing that was supposed to come through you specifically. You leave a gap that nobody else can fill. Be you, the original you, the authentic you. That is who God created, and that is who the world needs. Listen, those people who talked about you, who betrayed you, who tried to destroy you, they were actually working for your good. They did not know it. They meant it for evil, but God used them to push you into your next level. So instead of being bitter, be grateful. They were just a tool in the master's hand. I know some of you right now are thinking about specific people. You are thinking about the ones who stabbed you in the back. You are thinking about the ones who spread lies about you. You are thinking about the ones who tried to block your blessing. And I know it is hard to see them as anything other than enemies. But I need you to understand something about how God operates. He is so powerful that he can take what was meant to destroy you and use it to develop you. He can take what was intended for evil and turn it around for your good. Your enemies do not have as much power as you think they do. Think about it this way. If those people had not done what they did, you might still be stuck in a situation that was not good for you. Sometimes God uses enemies to push you out of places you were too comfortable to leave on your own. Sometimes betrayal is the only thing that will move you to the next level. I have had people do me wrong in my life. I have had people try to destroy everything I was building. And in the moment, I was angry. I was hurt. I was ready to fight back. But years later, I can look back and see that what they did actually helped me. They pushed me to work harder. They pushed me to trust God more. They pushed me to become who I was supposed to be. Your enemies are confirmation that you are on the right track. If you did not have something valuable, nobody would be trying to stop you. If you were not a threat to the enemy's plans, nobody would be coming against you. Opposition is often a sign that you are close to something significant. Stop giving your enemies power over your emotions. Stop letting what they did keep you up at night. Stop replaying their betrayal over and over in your mind. Release them and release yourself. They played their part in your story, but they do not get to control your future. God is still in charge. I hear people say all the time, well, I want to follow my dreams, but I do not have the money. I do not have the resources. I do not have the connections. Let me ask you something. If God gives you a vision, do you really think he is going to leave you without provision? That would make him a liar. And the last time I checked, he cannot lie. When God guides, he provides. Period. You have to understand that God never gives you an assignment without also providing the resources to complete it. When he called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, he gave him the staff and the power to perform miracles. When he called David to fight Goliath, he gave him the skills with a slingshot. When he calls you to do something, he will provide what you need. The provision does not always show up before you start. Sometimes you have to step out in faith before you see the resources. Sometimes you have to begin the journey before the supplies appear. Sometimes you have to trust God enough to move before everything is in place. This is where most people get stuck. They are waiting for all the resources to be lined up before they step out. They are waiting for the money. They are waiting for the right connections. They are waiting for everything to be perfect. But faith does not work that way. Faith requires you to move first and trust that God will provide along the way. Think about the Israelites in the wilderness. God did not give them enough manna for the whole journey at once. He gave them just enough for each day. They had to trust Him daily. They had to wake up every morning believing that He would provide again. And He did. For 40 years, He never missed a day. Your provision might not look like what you expect. It might not come through the channels you anticipate. God might use unexpected people and unexpected opportunities to meet your needs. But one way or another, if He has called you to it, He will provide for it. Stop using lack of resources as an excuse not to pursue your purpose. Stop hiding behind financial limitations. Stop saying you cannot when God says you can. If the vision is from Him, the provision will come. Trust the process. Trust the provider. Start moving and watch Him make a way. Some of you are in the fight of your life right now. You are going through something that seems impossible. But let me tell you why you should be excited. God does not waste big battles on small blessings. The size of your fight is connected to the size of your future. Giants only show up when there is a giant treasure to protect. I want you to think about David and Goliath. David was just a young shepherd boy. He was not even supposed to be at the battle. But when he saw Goliath, he did not see a monster. He saw an opportunity. He knew that defeating that giant would bring a reward that was bigger than anything he had ever experienced. Your giant is guarding your blessing. Your struggle is protecting your breakthrough. The reason the battle is so intense is that what is on the other side is so valuable. If your future were ordinary, your fight would be ordinary. But you are facing something extraordinary because something extraordinary is coming. Stop complaining about the size of your problems. Start recognizing them as indicators of the size of your promise. When the enemy comes against you hard, it is because he sees what is about to happen in your life. He is not fighting you because you are weak. He is fighting you because you are a threat to his kingdom. You should be encouraged by the intensity of your struggle. You should be motivated by the size of your opposition. You should be energized by the strength of your enemy, because all of it points to the magnitude of what God has in store for you. Small battles mean small victories. Big battles mean big breakthroughs. I have never met a successful person who did not have to overcome significant obstacles. I have never met anyone living in their purpose who did not have to fight for it. The struggle is part of the story. The battle is part of the blessing. You cannot have a testimony without a test. So when you look at your current battle, do not be discouraged by its size. Be encouraged. Something massive is waiting for you on the other side. God has not brought you this far to let you lose now. The victory is already secured. You just have to keep fighting until you see it. Stop crying over closed doors. Stop beating on doors that God has shut. When he closes a door, he's protecting you from something, or he is redirecting you to something better. Either way, you should be thanking him. Some of the best things that ever happened to me were the things that did not happen for me. We get so focused on what we want that we cannot see when God is protecting us from it. We get so attached to our plans that we resist when he tries to redirect us. We get so desperate for certain opportunities that we refuse to accept when he closes those doors. But closed doors are often the greatest blessings in disguise. I look back at my life, and I can see so many times when I desperately wanted something that would have been terrible for me. I wanted jobs that would have been the wrong fit. I wanted relationships that would have been toxic. I wanted opportunities that would have led me down the wrong path. And at the time, I was upset when those doors closed. But now I am grateful. Now I can see that God was protecting me from myself. He knew things I did not know. He saw dangers I could not see. He loved me enough to say no, even when I was begging him to say yes. And his no made room for his yes in the right areas. Every closed door is an answered prayer, even if it does not feel like it. When you pray for God to guide your steps, He sometimes guides them away from what you think you want. When you ask him to protect you, he sometimes protects you by blocking certain paths. Trust his no's as much as you trust his yeses. Some of you need to stop pushing on doors that God has clearly closed. You are exhausting yourself trying to force something that was not meant to be. You are wasting time and energy that could be used to pursue the doors he has actually opened. Let it go. Move on. The right door is waiting for you. Rejection is often God's protection. A closed door is often a divine redirect. What feels like failure is often God's favor in disguise. Change your perspective on closed doors, and you will change your life. Thank God for the no's because they lead you to the right yes. You may be in a bad chapter right now. You may be on a page full of pain, but you are not at the end of the book. Keep turning pages. Keep showing up. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. The best chapters of your life are still being written. Do not judge your life based on a single chapter. Do not make conclusions based on temporary circumstances. You are in the middle of your story, not the end. And the author of your story has some incredible plot twists ahead that you cannot even imagine right now. I have seen people ready to give up right before their breakthrough. I have seen people on the verge of quitting when they were one chapter away from their victory. I have seen people lose hope right before everything changed. That could have been a tragedy, but they held on, and now they are living their best life. The enemy wants you to believe that this is as good as it gets. He wants you to accept your current chapter as your final destination. He wants you to close the book and stop turning pages. But I am here to tell you that there is more. There is so much more. Your story is not finished yet. Some of you are in the messy middle right now. Things are complicated. Things are hard. Things do not make sense. But every great story has a messy middle. Every great journey has difficult seasons. Every great testimony has moments of testing. You are in the middle, not the end. Keep reading. Keep walking. Keep believing. The next chapter could be the one where everything changes. The next page could be the one where the breakthrough happens. The next scene could be the one where God shows up powerfully. You will never know if you close the book now. Your story has meaning. Your life has purpose. And the author who started writing your story is faithful to complete it. He is not going to leave you with a cliffhanger. He is not going to end your book in the middle of the conflict. He is going to bring you through to a beautiful conclusion. Just keep turning the pages. He will never put more on you than you can bear. So if you are going through something heavy right now, it is because God knows you are strong enough to carry it. He believes in you. He knows your capacity better than you know it yourself. You are stronger than you think you are. Sometimes we underestimate ourselves. We look at our circumstances and think there is no way we can handle this. We feel overwhelmed and defeated before the fight even really begins. But God sees something in you that you do not see in yourself. He knows your true strength. If He allowed it, you can handle it. That is not just a motivational statement. That is a biblical principle. God is faithful, and He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear. So if you are facing it, you have been given the capacity to overcome it. Think about how muscles grow. They grow through resistance. They grow through strain. They grow by being pushed beyond what is comfortable. That is what is happening to you right now. You are not being destroyed. You are being strengthened. The weight you are carrying is building your capacity. Some of you do not realize how strong you are because you have never been tested at this level. You have never had to dig this deep. You have never had to fight this hard. But now you are discovering muscles you did not know you had. Now you are accessing reserves of strength you never knew existed. God knew exactly what you could handle before He allowed this to come into your life. He calculated the weight. He measured the burden. He calibrated the difficulty. And He determined that you were built for this. Not because it would be easy, but because you are equipped. Stop telling yourself you cannot handle this. Stop saying it is too much. Stop confessing weakness over your situation. You are stronger than you think. You are more resilient than you know. You have been designed for this moment. Rise and show everyone what you are made of. Let go. Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop trying to play God in your own life. When you finally surrender and say, Lord, I trust you, that is when the miracles start happening. Your grip is too tight. Open your hands and let God work. We live in a culture that celebrates control. We are taught to take charge, make things happen, and never depend on anyone. But there is a limit to what our control can accomplish. There is a ceiling on what our strength can achieve. At some point, we have to admit that we need help beyond ourselves. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving over. It is transferring responsibility from your limited hands to his unlimited hands. It is admitting that he can do a better job with your life than you can. It is trusting that his wisdom exceeds yours and his power surpasses yours. Some of you are exhausted because you are trying to carry things you were never meant to carry. You are trying to control things that are not yours to control. You are trying to fix things that only God can fix. And you are wearing yourself out in the process. When you surrender, you are not being weak. You are being wise. It takes more strength to let go than to hold on. It takes more courage to trust God than to trust yourself. Surrender is actually the strongest position you can take because it aligns you with the most powerful force in the universe. I remember the moment in my life when I finally surrendered. When I stopped trying to make everything happen on my own. When I stopped trying to figure out every detail. When I just said, God, I give this to you. That was the moment everything started to change. That was the moment miracles started happening. Your hands are too small to hold your future. Your mind is too limited to plan your destiny. Your strength is too finite to carry your purpose. Let go and let God. Surrender your plans, your fears, your desires, your future. Put it all in his hands and watch what he does with it. I do not care how old you are. I do not care what you have been through. I do not care how many times you have failed. God has saved the best wine for last. Your latter days will be greater than your former days. Your ending will be better than your beginning. Get ready. Stay faithful. Keep believing. Some of you think your best days are behind you. You think you missed your window. You think your opportunity has passed. But I am here to tell you that God is not finished with you. He has not used up all his blessings. He has not exhausted all his